He was a retired engineer, 40 years of careful decisions, never missed a payment, never trusted a stranger. The system that destroyed him didn't care about any of that. It started with a message on a trading form, a profile with a professional photo, warm, subtly attractive, credible. She remembered every detail he shared, his work history, his dog, his late wife. When he seemed stressed, she sent voice messages, calm, caring, perfectly timed. She wasn't real. She was a script, optimized by an AI, A/B tested across thousands of victims, and running 30 other conversations simultaneously on a laptop inside a compound in Myanmar's Shan state. By the time his daughter saw the wire confirmation, $240,000 sent to a crypto wallet in Singapore, the money had already been split across 11 blockchain hops and was disappearing into an underground financial network that no bank regulator in the world could fully trace. He didn't believe his daughter for 3 days. The AI had already predicted that response. It had a counter-narrative ready. This is not the story of one man's mistake. This is the story of a $37 billion criminal empire that industrialized human deception using AI and built the whole thing on the backs of hundreds of thousands of trafficked workers who never chose to be there. And the next target is already in its database. To understand how this machine works, forget everything you know about organized crime. No corner dealers, no warehouse shootouts, no suitcases of cash in parking garages. This is a corporation. It has HR departments, shift schedules, and IT infrastructure more sophisticated than most Fortune 500 companies, except the HR department traffics its workers across borders. The performance bonuses are withheld until daily fraud quotas are hit, and the IT stack exists entirely to rob you. The compounds sit mostly in Myanmar, Cambodia, and Laos, border regions where governance is weak, military corruption is rampant, and a construction boom funded by crime dollars built entire self-contained cities behind razor wire. The largest hold tens of thousands of workers at a time, hospitals inside, dormitories, casinos for the bosses, cells for workers who don't perform. The UN documented how syndicates trafficked hundreds of thousands of people into these operations, lured by fake job ads promising call center work in Thailand or Malaysia, then stripped of their passports the moment they crossed the border. Teachers, engineers, college graduates from China, India, Kenya, Brazil, charged for food and lodging, forced to work off a debt designed never to be fully repaid. But here is where the story mutates into something far darker. By 2024, the bosses realized that human labor, however cheap and captive, had a ceiling. People get tired, people make mistakes, people sometimes refuse, people sometimes escape and talk to journalists. AI doesn't. The upgrade happened faster than any government analyst predicted. By mid-2024, monitored underground markets in Southeast Asia showed a 600% surge in deepfake tools, AI chat scripts, and synthetic identity kits being bought, traded, and deployed by criminal networks. This wasn't fringe adoption. This was an industry-wide infrastructure upgrade. A trafficked worker who used to spend 12 hours a day manually building fake relationships, fake investment portfolios, fake personalities, fake intimacy, was replaced by an AI running hundreds of those conversations at once. The worker became a monitor, a supervisor of machines doing the psychological manipulation at scale he could never reach alone. The scam known as pig butchering, where criminals fatten victims with fake investment gains before taking everything, became fully automated. AI generated the persona. AI maintained the thread across weeks and months, referencing past details, adjusting emotional tone in real time, escalating pressure precisely when the data showed the target was most vulnerable. When victims wanted to see their contact on a video call, AI-generated faces appeared, fluid, warm, and completely fabricated. A face that has never existed, running on a laptop inside a compound in Myanmar. The UNODC described it plainly. AI became a force multiplier for criminal networks that previously lacked the technical sophistication to operate at this scale. They no longer needed the sophistication. They just needed to buy the tool. And on the largest criminal marketplace in existence, a Telegram-based platform called UNODC, those tools were available like Amazon product listings, deepfake kits, AI romance scripts, crypto laundering pipelines. The platform processed over $24 billion in transactions, not a rumor. A documented, cataloged criminal marketplace larger than the stock exchange of most countries. In January 2026, a source trapped inside a scam compound in Myanmar made contact with a journalist at Wired magazine. He was a software engineer, recruited through a job listing that promised legitimate tech work in Bangkok. By the time he understood what had happened, his passport was gone, his debt to the compound was growing, and the exits were guarded. He documented the inside with precision. Rows of workstations, screens showing live fraud conversations, supervisors with clipboards walking the floor, checking conversion rates, the percentage of targets who wired money, like sales managers monitoring a call center. Workers who missed daily quotas were denied meals. Those who tried to escape were brought back by armed guards and made into examples in front of everyone else. He also described something that hadn't appeared in earlier accounts: the AI terminals. By 2025, senior workers were no longer running conversations. They were supervising AI systems running conversations, flagging emotional edge cases the algorithm hadn't encountered, feeding new victim data into the training pool, escalating accounts flagged as high conversion potential. The compound had become a hybrid operation. Human trafficking provided the physical infrastructure. AI provided the scale no human workforce could ever reach. He spent months documenting everything before managing to get the files out. By the time Wired published, he had already fled the country. His name withheld, his location classified. The compound kept running. Follow the money and the architecture gets colder. When that retired engineer wired $240,000, it didn't simply disappear. It traveled a precisely engineered route designed to outlast every regulatory checkpoint ever built. First, a crypto wallet. Then, fragmentation, split across dozens of wallets through chain hopping, bouncing between different cryptocurrencies to erase the trail. Then, it entered what investigators call underground banking networks, shadow financial systems operated by organized crime, with decades of laundering expertise baked into the infrastructure. These aren't improvised workarounds. They are engineered systems using shell companies, trade-based invoicing, and crypto exchanges to move money the way a corporate treasury moves money, clean on paper, untraceable in practice. The biggest node in this system was UNODC, a Cambodian conglomerate with documented ties to Cambodia's ruling family, processing illicit crypto flows at a scale that made Western compliance teams look like they were working in slow motion. When the U.S. Financial Crimes Enforcement Network moved against it in 2025, the platform rebranded and resumed operating within weeks. By 2025, Americans alone lost $4.4 billion to pig butchering scams in a single year. Global losses reached the $37 billion figure the United Nations documented, and that number is conservative. Shame, confusion, and the complexity of the financial trail mean most victims never report. Most transactions never surface. The machine is bigger than any number currently available to measure it. By late 2025, these weren't scam operations. They were fully integrated criminal enterprises running 4 divisions simultaneously. Division 1, fraud. AI automated pig butchering, romance scams, and investment fraud, running thousands of victim conversations across every time zone in every major language. Division 2, money laundering. Automated crypto chain hopping, trade-based invoice fraud, and underground banking, cycling billions through the global financial system faster than any compliance team could flag it. Division 3, phishing infrastructure. Mass-scale AI-generated phishing campaigns, credential harvesting, and synthetic identity fraud, feeding stolen data back into the targeting system to sharpen future operations. Division 4, the marketplace, UNODC and its successor platforms, the criminal app store where every tool, every service, and every piece of infrastructure could be purchased, upgraded, and deployed within hours. Each division fed the others. Fraud generated capital, capital funded the marketplace upgraded the fraud. Laundering cleaned the money and cycled it back. This was not a criminal organization that happened to use AI. This was an AI system that happened to be run by criminals. That distinction matters enormously because it means removing the leadership changes almost nothing. The system keeps running. The machine doesn't need a human being at the top to function. It needs a server, a wallet address, and your phone number. In October 2025, Myanmar's military announced it had captured one of the most notorious scam compounds on the Thai border. Officials in uniform, photographs, seized equipment, the language of decisive victory. What the announcement didn't mention was that the military itself had long-standing financial arrangements with the very networks it was now claiming to dismantle, that the compounds paid protection to junta-aligned officers for years, that the raid displaced one set of criminal operators into adjacent territory already controlled by another. The machine didn't break, it relocated. This is the documented pattern across every disruption attempt. In Cambodia, crackdowns pushed operations deeper into Myanmar. In Myanmar, pressure displaced satellite networks into Laos, then into parts of Africa and the Middle East. The UN warned explicitly in April 2025 that these syndicates were no longer regionally contained. They were global franchises, replicating wherever enforcement was weak and protection was available for purchase. The US Department of Justice seized domains. Singapore froze accounts. Thailand tightened border controls. Each action was real. Each action was too small because this network was designed deliberately, intelligently, to survive exactly this kind of pressure. Decentralized financial rails, AI operations that don't require a physical workforce to keep running, underground markets that rebrand faster than regulators can file paperwork. The UNODC said it plainly. The criminal threat landscape is evolving faster than governments can manage it. That assessment was from 2024. The AI has been upgrading every quarter since. The $37 billion figure is from 2023. The AI has had 3 more years to improve since that number was counted. No government agency has published a current estimate, maybe because the number they'd have to say out loud no longer fits comfortably in a headline.